Hey everybody, hope all is well. I wanted to do a video here about Margaret Sanger. Actions speak louder than words. So, in seeing this quote, it made me think that, hey, I think maybe she's got some sons, some black sons. Now, she did have children. I'm not talking about them biological. Typically, sons obey their moms, right? You do what your mother tells you to do. Same for daughters. At least that's what's expected. Doesn't always happen. But I'm starting to think that maybe Margaret Sanger has some sons, some black sons. Y'all know who it is. Don't pretend like you don't know. Okay, fine, I'll say it. Margaret Sanger. I think she has some black sons. The gangbangers. Yeah, a lot of black men. Listen, the quote says here, as you can see, shout out to Pharaoh Jones. We want to exterminate the Negro population, Margaret Sanger. And here you have Hillary Clinton that says, I admire Margaret Sanger enormously. Her quote, her courage, her tenacity, her visions. Oh, really? Again, the quote Margaret Sanger, we want to exterminate the Negro population. So, I thought about it. Even though she's gone, I think in the BC, a lot of black men in particular, and in the gangbangers, they're on formation for Margaret Sanger to exterminate the Negro population. So, the gangbanger. Let's go ahead and get to that. We've seen the stores close down. Aldi's, Target, Starbucks. And I want to go ahead and just take a look at this for about gangs, okay? It says, gangs increase the levels of crimes in communities and set a bad example for kids in the area. They create an image of power and respect, when in reality, they drop out of school, struggle with unemployment, abuse drugs, alcohol, end up in jail. Communities fear them because of the harm they bring to others. And I've actually seen on the internet some of these young men, oh yeah, black men, oh, they fear us. Oh, really? Yeah, they may. But see, it's a two-way street you're not getting. They don't respect you. They fear you because of violence. And then when they also fear you, when you decide, okay, I tried the street life, it didn't work out, I want to get a job. That's why they fear you and won't hire you. That's the part you forgot about. You're not considering. You're not considering. So let's look at a few things here about gangs, okay? Violence increases the risk of behavior and mental health difficulties. These can include future violence, perpetration and victimization, smoking, substance abuse, obesity, high-risk sexual behavior, depression, academic difficulties, school dropout, and suicide. What type of crimes do gangs commit? Many are sophisticated, well-organized, all use violence to control neighborhoods and boost their illegal money-making activities. Robbery. We got a lot of that in the BC, don't we? Drug and gun trafficking, prostitution and human trafficking, and fraud. Many gang members continue to commit crimes even after being sent to jail. Large communities, those with a population of over 50,000, are at a greater risk of significant gang activity, and community members face heightened fear that they, their families, schools, or businesses will become victims of theft and or violence. Gee, I wonder is that why all these closed down? I wonder why the company left Chicago. The richest man in Chicago also moved. He left. I wonder if that's why Starbucks closed down. I wonder if that's why Whole Foods left, even though that leash wasn't up. Gangs bring violence. Violence scares people out of participating in neighborhood activities, limits business growth and prosperity, strains education, justice, and medical system and slows community progress. Again, what did Margaret Sanger say? We want to exterminate the Negro population. Huh. And I'm going to read one more on this page, and let's get to the main quote. So one thing we know that they do, the consequences of gang membership may include exposure to drugs and alcohol, age inappropriate sexual behavior, difficulty finding a job because of lack of education and work skills, removal from one's family, imprisonment, and even death. We want to exterminate the Negro population. Let's take a look at this. And I'm not going to read the entire page. This is a quick read, I promise. Black on Black homicide, a psychological, political perspective. Okay? And this is from the Office of Justice Programs, U.S. Department of Justice. Check this out. Abstract. Today, homicide is the leading cause of death among young Black men and contributes significantly to the shortened lifespan of the Black male. In about 80 to 90% of the cases, the Black victim was killed by another Black. And about 52% of the murder victims were acquainted with their assailant. Just as we accept that suicide victims are psychologically impaired, we must acknowledge that a murderer is similarly impaired, and Blacks for both environmental and political reasons. We are impaired what? For both environmental and political reasons. So our communities, disarray. The politics we're voting for, what are we getting for our vote? Eric Adams, you got a hotel coming for the immigrants. What about the homeless U.S. citizens? The Black women and children, all those Black folks that voted for you? What are we getting for our vote? What good is the National Black Caucus? The Black politicians? Tell me. I don't need a speech. We need some actions. So just as we accept that suicide victims are psychologically impaired, we must acknowledge that a murderer is similarly impaired, and Blacks, for both environmental and political reasons, are likely to reflect emotional predispositions that allow them to more readily become a homicide statistic. Listen to this. Listen to this sentence right here. I want to highlight it. Projected self-hatred facilitates blind rage and gives the perpetrator of the violent attack a sense of legitimacy and justification. Again, projected self-hatred facilitates blind rage and gives the perpetrator of the violent attack a sense of legitimacy and justification. One of our Black women been killed every 6 hours. Then it's reported every 5.5 hours, every 5 hours. Now they're saying every 4.8 hours. Self-hatred. Black man was in the store buying some beer. Another man just standing there. So he's buying some beer, waiting in line. One of the bottles fell out, broke, and it spattered onto another Black man's tennis shoe. The Black man pulls out a gun and shoots him. Why? Why? Blind rage, violent attack. And then because of that self-hatred, they feel it's legitimate, it's justifiable. In addition, Blacks have been indoctrinated by a criminal justice system which places higher value on a white life than on a Black life. While psychological study of homicide offenders and victims is difficult and not easily quantifiable, it is important to explore such variables in Black community violence. Programs focused on crime and violence prevention, therefore, must do more than alleviate socioeconomic ills in the Black community. They must pay attention as well to negative psychological dynamics in the Black experience that contribute to internecine victimization. The Black community in particular is in dire need of homicide prevention centers with programs of prevention, research, and treatment. Projected self-hatred facilitates blind rage and gives the perpetrator of the violent attack a sense of legitimacy, justification. Self-hatred, blind rage. Gee, talk about blind rage. How many black women, again, Margaret Sanger. I'm starting to wonder if she got some sons, some black sons now. I don't mean biologically, but I think she got some black sons. Because typically, sons and daughters are expected to obey their mother. So I'm thinking that she may have some black sons based on her behavior. The quote says we want to exterminate the Negro population. How many black women have ended up pregnant and gotten murked? Killed by your baby daddy. Killed by your man. How many didn't even get the chance to give birth? You go into a baby shower, get shot, and then specifically shooting the woman in her stomach to make sure that the fetus does not survive. Woman pregnant with her child, you take the child in the car seat and throw it in the river. Really? The depravity. So to me, it sounds like the gangbanger, and even those that are not, in a set, whether they're in a gang or not, affiliation, a lot of black men are on board with Margaret Sanger and the gangbanger. Why? They want the same thing. Their actions speak louder than words. They want to exterminate the Negro population. So even though she's gone, how many black men are in formation to exterminate the black population? Think about it. Women and children being killed, being murked. Somebody looks like you, me, mug me, looking at me, just start shooting. Another black man try to stand up for a black woman. Pow, 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 pow. He gets shot. Another black man try to defend his wife or daughter. He gets killed and murked. Black man tries to build. He gets robbed. You see, the weave shot took everything. Black women going to work every day, getting robbed, kill you, carjack you, take your purse, shoot you dead. Baby mama got her baby daddy, 3 kids in the car. He shows something inappropriate. Shoots her what? 18 and 20 times. And she survived. What do you think? When he shoots you, what do you think he's doing? Exterminating you. Margaret Sanger quote, the quote here says, we want to exterminate the Negro population. All I can say, I think Margaret Sanger got some kids, the gangbangers. Again, we want to exterminate the Negro population. And it's sad to say, many black men, they're in formation to help exterminate their own population. Think about it. I'm out.